One of the most important things to me now in a relationship that I compromised in the past and that I don't regret compromising, but I learned that I will never, ever, ever repeat this cycle ever again. When it comes to my autonomy and what I want to do with my body and when I want to do it, I will never give up that power ever again. In the past, in my boyfriend girlfriend relationships, I used to I used to sacrifice my own comfort to please my partners sexually just to prove that I was submissive and prove that I was wifey material. Sex was almost never initiated by me. I'm the type of girl, I love to be playful. I love to be flirtatious. I love, frolicking around in a thong and, I just love being like that, right? But that doesn't mean that I just want to get D down every time I'm walking around in a thong. If I kiss you or, I'm doing, flirtatious things to you or whatever, that doesn't mean that I want to get D down. Like, it's just not. Like, sometimes I like to just be playful and be playfully flirtatious with my man or the guy that I'm with. I don't want to do the whole thing every single time. My sex drive is not, it's not that high. Now, I would say, I would like doing it like maybe 2 times a week or something. I don't know. But it's like, it's not like I'm not a girl that wants it 3 times a day. I'm not that. I'm not even a girl that wants it once every day. Like, I'm like a every other day, every 3 days, type of person. My sex drive is not there with it. So being with someone that had a sex drive that was like literally times 4 mine, it made me feel pressured a lot. It frustrated me. Like, when I would be in the bed and I would be ready to go to sleep, and we had so much time in the night. We don't watch 3 movies. We done cook dinner. We done talked and stuff like that. And now we're finally going to sleep. And now you're asking me for sex. Like, why now? Like why not like a couple hours ago when I was actually awake? You know what I'm saying? Like, why now? Why when I'm about to go to sleep? Like, I never understood that. And one thing that I don't understand either is how guys feel comfortable always initiating sex with a woman. You don't want it to be on her terms at all? You don't want it to be on her time at all? You don't want her to desire you, to want you? You just gonna run the relationship dry and overstimulate both of you just because you don't know how to have fun or connect through any other activity other than sex? One thing that stood out to me while dating and getting to know new people is coming across someone that never, ever, ever pressured me for sex. Never talked about it, never pressured me to do it, never asked me for it, never made me feel like I'll be promoted to girlfriend or to wife if I do it. this person showed me that not all men are thirsty in that way. Not all men are thirsty in that way. You know, the thing about not being pressured to do it or to do anything for your partner is you actually have time to miss that person. You actually start to desire it. It's like you have a battery, right? And when you haven't seen that person in a long time, you start to miss them, then you start to daydream about them, and then your battery gets low and you gotta get that energy, back in that battery. It's like now that y'all are in a space where, fireworks can pop off, now it's your actual decision. Now it's something that you actually want to do and that you're excited to do. And the experience, is most likely going to be 10 times better. So in one of my other relationships, we just did it so much that I didn't even care to do it anymore. It just felt like a job. It felt like a job. It felt like a duty. Sometimes I would like it, like, when I was drunk. But the other times it was kind of just like I felt like it was a service that I had to fulfill to prove that I was submissive and to prove that I was wifey material. And we were so overstimulated. Like a lot of the times we did the do to the point where we couldn't even like motherfuckers couldn't even climax. Like that's how overstimulated we were. And I remember like we waited a few days and tried it again, and it was so amazing, and it was like literally fireworks. And I remember telling him like maybe we just need to wait every couple days, so our bodies can like regenerate or something. Like I think we're overstimulating ourselves. Like maybe we should like take breaks in between, you know what I'm saying? So I actually wanted so I'm actually excited about it, so I can fantasize about it, and I can it's that more explosive. But no, for him, if it wasn't every day, it was like a cloud of like an undertone of disappointment. Like, oh, I worked 12 hours today. The least you can do is... I don't ever want that type of energy in a relationship of mine ever again. Ever again. I didn't realize how me feeling obligated to do sexual services for a man actually chipped at my self-esteem a little bit. I didn't realize what it did to my self-esteem until I found myself in a situation where I was selling myself short because I thought that a man wouldn't want me unless I gave it to him. So it was like that programming kind of like left the relationship with me. And I started to think that I had to sell myself short because I thought there's no way this guy is going to keep on dating me week after week after week if I don't give him none, because that's how my ex made me feel. So once again, meeting a guy that never pressured me for sex, even one time, never pressured me, never, tried to make me feel like I had to please him in order to keep him around, or it's such a refreshing feeling, and it's such a liberating feeling. And every time I want to see him, I'm excited to see him. Every time if we have any type of sexual interaction, I'm always the one to initiate. He's just so laid back, so player, so accepting of who I am, so patient, just so, I don't know, like he just allows me to be the director when it comes to sexual activities in all areas, and I love that. Like that makes me feel so, I don't know, like it just makes me feel so loved, so considered, you know. It doesn't make me feel like I'm being used. It doesn't make me feel like I'm worthless unless I provide a consistent service. It makes me feel loved and liberated, you know? So, I don't know how other people's relationships are. I don't know what women feel like they have to do to keep their man. But I will say that not all men are going to make you do something you don't want to do in order to prove that you're wifey material, or prove that you're good enough for a ring, or prove that you're submissive, or prove that you're cooperative. Like, some guys are gonna be happy to go at your pace because a lot of guys don't get consistent sex anyway. So how is once a week hurting you, my guy? How is twice a week hurting you? You're doing nothing but gaining. So you mean to tell me that you're gonna go from, getting sex once a month to, oh, if you don't give it to me every day, then you're not submissive, you're not feminine. I work 12 hours, I work a 12-hour shift. That's the least you can do for me. Like, these guys are so entitled to women's bodies. Some of these guys are so entitled to women's bodies, knowing good and damn well you couldn't get that on your own if you wasn't with me anyway. So just be happy. Just be happy. Like, sometimes I'm not mad if a guy initiates. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that. You can do that. But if 9 out of 10 times you initiate and I'm kind of like tired, or I'm kind of like, or I'm giving you signs that, like, you just want to ignore that? You just don't care? You just don't care about my feelings at all? You just don't care. You don't. Y'all, don't settle. Okay? Don't settle. Understand that a guy that loves you is going to take the time to get to know you and get to know your cycles and get to know, your patterns and how you are. And he's going to want to fit in to that. He's not going to try to change you to fit his agenda. He's not going to try to force you to serve him endlessly and relentlessly. He's not going to try to make you prove that you're wifey material by doing everything for him at every beck and call. Like, a guy that loves you is not going to turn you into a slave, especially a sex slave. If you are being vocal and letting this guy know that your sex drive is not kind of where his is, and you kind of need a couple days to regenerate, recuperate, feel excited about it, like, you're easily overstimulated. If he does not care about that, he does not love you. He only loves how you look. He only loves how you make him feel. He only loves what you do for him. So, yeah, I learned, just through experiencing someone that doesn't pressure me, I learned that I don't have to settle with nothing. I don't have to settle with nothing. I thought that I would have to settle. I thought that I would have to be a slave in some type of way to be with a man. And I realized that I don't have to do that. I just have to keep looking. And you learn yourself through relationships. So you learn what your sex drive is. You learn how much you like it. You learn how much time you need in between. Like, you learn these things slowly. So you're going to have to go through something that's probably going to traumatize you to learn that about yourself. But once you learn that about yourself, keep that boundary and enforce that with every single person you encounter. Keep that boundary stern and enforce that with anyone that you're with, even if you love this guy, even if you're in love. Because it's not going to be no better if you're in a relationship where you feel like a slave and you're never excited to be intimate with this person because y'all are overstimulated and you feel like getting intimate is a duty. So, yeah. Let me know how y'all feel about this topic. Let me know if you feel, like you're in control of your sex life, or if you feel like someone else is in control of it. Even if you're in a relationship, sometimes you can feel like someone is controlling your sex life. And it's like, damn. I thought that me being in a relationship would make me feel sexually liberated because, I have someone that I can trust and that I can express my, that side of me with. But when it's forced, when it's too frequent, when it starts feeling like a job or like an obligation, when it no longer feels like a sacred ceremony and it starts to feel like a shift, tell me if you've experienced that. All right. So if you are not subscribed to my channel already, make sure you go ahead and do that. Turn on your notifications, and I'll see y'all in the next video.